Okay, so this afternoon we're going to wrap up a two-piece drive shaft project for my customer TJ. It's for one of his customers. It's a tow vehicle that they tow behind their motorhome. I believe I was told it was a Nissan Titan pickup, and they tow behind the motorhome, so they wanted to put a disconnect in the rear drive shaft so that it'd make for easier towing and they didn't have to unhook stuff. So it was very enthusiastically talked about. I'm sure it was somebody bought this. I don't know who the customer is, at the company that sold it. And TJ was mentioning to me, just put this in and stuff like that. So I cast a wary eye on those things, and I've been through this before. My career batting average with these things this is probably the 10th one I've done. And they're not what they're represented to be, unfortunately. They're kind of like a semi-finished product, and I'll explain why. Beautiful machining, don't get me wrong, it's all billet. It appears to be very well made, but appearances can be deceiving, and I'll show you why. So, famous artist drew this. That's a clip groove for the C-clip grooves where the U-joint caps go in. And then that's like the gullet of the yoke. All right, so problems occur when you put a U-joint in a hole. I mean, that's what a yoke is intended to be. If you put a U-joint in the yoke and you get one clip in and it covers up part of the other clip groove, then you've got a problem, and that's the way this was. Not only that is the material in here, this is all machined out of billet. The material in here was very restrictive, and it wouldn't let the press-up tool, the common press-up tools we've used for years and years and years, won't go in there without bottoming out in this area here and restricting the press-up tool. So I had to do a bunch of grinding in there, and I had to finesse the U-joints to get them in there, believe me. So, you're making these parts, and they're beautiful looking, but the main job of any drive shaft yoke is to accept a U-joint, period. There's no debating that. And if the clip dimension isn't correct, then, what do you got? Then it's a rodeo, I mean, I'm a fussy machinist and I'm not without my tricks, so of course I fixed it, but you shouldn't have to. I'm sure that assembly wasn't free, and look at it. It looks gorgeous, but the tubing journal was incorrect for the diameter of tubing that this is, so I fixed that. Dealt with that yoke, clip dimensions, and the restriction for getting the press-up tool in to get it assembled. This has got nothing to do with that component, but this is more of the predatory engineering of how they build vehicles. That midship stub is mated to a 6-ball or a 3-ball CV head. That's a disposable item. In other words, you can't take it apart. What you can't see, that's a slip yoke that's hiding down in there, similar to this, but the last 3 or 4 inches of that is turned to a taper. So that precludes you from being able to grab it like normal here and be able to get it assembled. So that led me away from my normal press-up tool right there, over to assembling it in a big lathe over there in the machine shop side. And it was a 2-man job welding this, because I had to get my able assistant Paul to spin it for me while I was welding this up. It all came out good, but once again, unnecessary stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. Oh yeah, I'll show the piece right here. This is the piece I cut off. There's the flange, and there's the weld. So I put back what I cut off. There it is right there. So overall, the finish on this is A+. The attention to detail and the fitment of some of the components, like especially the U-joint fitment, is a D-. Yeah, close to an F. Not impressed at all. So it's all assembled. Actually runs pretty good. It's got a PTI flange on it that goes to the 8 freaking bolts to hold the pinion flange on the Nissan Titan. What's up with that, guys? Got 8 bolts holding that on. There's 8 bolts in this one. There's 4 bolts in the other end. Unnecessary. We don't need to rush to be adopt the DIN specs for everything on the planet. 4 bolts would hold that thing on successfully, and actually, pretty sure the owner's going to watch this. I mean, you can put all 8 bolts in, but I'm pretty sure a 4 would do the job, as long as you put them in evenly. Skip a hole. Yeah, so we're going to spin this up now that I've explained all the minutia about doing this. You know, just throw it in, yeah. Let's see you do it. She's pretty well tuned up now. That's 2,500 RPM right there. You'll notice that I have the cage on the balancer down there. I did pre-run this without the PTI flange, and I have that in there now grabbed with a 6-jaw chuck because I didn't have a flange. That's another thing I need to say is we've got a million flanges on the planet to build, you know, and hook drive shafts up to, and they keep showing up with more. There's no need for that. Probably 40 or 50 different flange designs would do every vehicle in the world, but now they got to keep making more. But I have this grabbed by the 6-jaw chuck. I did pre-run this and got it pretty well tuned up with a regular spin fixture for 1350 series U-joint, which is right there. And then I put this on as secondary and am running it like it is right now for show and tell. So we'll go down the line here. That's, turn her up a little more. That's a happy spot. 0 at the transmission. That's just, it's got a little wag to it, but well, I changed the RPM. So it's 0 at the transfer case. 0 at the pinion yoke, nice and smooth, and my end is 0. I did tune it up all the way down, but I concentrated on this area. That end, it did run pretty good, so I did make a minor weight correction at the transfer case end, assuming this is 4-wheel drive, I don't know. So that's that, and we're going to just touch the paint up on this, and we'll get it back to TJ. And then these folks can go home with their Titan in tow.